Hey guys, it's Mike from the Geek Pub. When we first moved into the new shop, I built a lot of things just to get me started, but I left a lot of them half finished. In this case, my workbench. Now, my workbench was designed specifically to have doors and drawers, but if you have any piece of shop furniture with a hole, such as a cabinet or a bookcase, you can use this same method to add doors and drawers to your project. So let's get started. To get started, I cut all the boards that make the drawer faces, backs, and sides. You can do this in any order you like, but I like to make all of the same width cuts at once so that I never move the fence on the saw. This ensures they all exactly match. My table saw isn't really set up for cutting down large sheet goods like 4x8 plywood, so I just use a guide bar in my circular saw to cut them down to size to ensure I keep everything square and straight. This leaves us with a nice stack of boards, but I want my drawers to be really strong as I plan to store large and heavy items in them. That means I need dado cuts. And that means I need to install a dado stack on the saw stop. To do that, we've got to remove the regular blade and change the safety brake cartridge over to the dado cartridge. There's just a single pin that holds it in place. This brake cartridge is what stops the blade in case of contact with human skin. It simply slides over the two guide rods and then locks into place with the pin. Here, sped up 10x, I install the dado stack with the correct spacers to cut 22 32nd slots for plywood. And then I just put the zero clearance insert back into place. All of our drawer sides, backs, and faces need to have a dado cut in them. Our drawer bottoms will slide into them and be locked into place. I also cut rabbets into the side of the faces and backs to add a little strength to these joints. Then back to the large sheet of plywood so I can cut out the drawer bottoms. I cut them to their final dimensions on the table saw. And this is when I really wish I had an outfeed table. To assemble everything, I use glue and brad nails. The glue really does all of the work. The brad nails just hold it together until the glue cures. Once I had all the drawers assembled, I set them aside to let the glue dry. And once they were ready, I started installing all the cabinet slides on them. It's important to measure these carefully so they slide correctly and stay level. When pushing the drawers in for the first time, you have to push pretty hard until the bearings seat. Then they'll open and close normally. I prefer to make my door and drawer faces from a single sheet of plywood. This way, when they're installed, the wood grain will all match and look great. People will think you're a pro. I use some clamps and a spacer block to set the door on so I can line them up and mark the hinges. Then I use the drill press and a Forstner bit to drill the hinge pockets. I just use regular European style cabinet hinges since they're not going to support any weight, and there's all kinds of little adjusters to get them lined up perfectly. Again, using some glue and brad nails, I attached the drawer faces. I was sure to put them on in the right order so that all the wood grain lines up. And finally, to finish everything off, I added some drawer pulls from the local big box store. And now that I'm finished, it's time to fill them up with all the tools still in boxes from the move. You'll get to see this paint gun in action in my next video. Hey guys, well I couldn't be much happier with the way this project turned out. And if you're following me on Facebook, then you've seen all the really cool projects that I have coming up. If you're not, head over to facebook.com/thegeekpub and hit that like button. Hey, and if you want a super sneak preview, head over to thegeekpub.com and click on the shop cam, and you can see what I'm doing 24 hours a day.